So the most recent calls in the peer-reviewed and the experts have been recommending the same thing they always do with AA, that, oh, it's successful. It shows that, it's still a successful program, but we don't have exact numbers. Again, they fail to see the obvious, that when it's been around 80 years, it's in 180 countries, okay? But then they go on to say, but it still hasn't evolved. So this is why the researchers, the peer review, are narrow-minded, ignorant, and I mean that in a real way. I don't mean that as an insult. They just they're ignorant because of their narrow-mindedness. Okay, so what really upsets me about this, what really kills me, is because, as somebody who's recovered through Alcoholics Anonymous, okay, what you hate about this world is you can see through people's bullshit. Yeah, it's because once you've had to go through all your own, you see the ego. So see, what do we have? We have a problem with an identity crisis, wouldn't we say? It always just continues to get worse because of the experts of peer review and research and all the higher educated. And just, even the church is being part of the problem, and, everybody not really doing any inner reflection at oneself. So, see, the difference with AA is, this is why the ego, I bring up the ego, because what creates an identity? Ego. It creates this false identity that then acts like a possession in many cases. Yet people come along, professionals that are social workers, sociology, just, all the higher educated that are woke. They don't even have to be woke, really. They're just fools. And then they like to say, the alcoholic really shouldn't be labeling themselves alcoholic. And it's like, do not speak of what you do not understand, okay? Like, they don't get it. They will never get it. They will never get it, because in order to understand it, they'd have to know themselves. This is why I don't put a whole lot of importance into evidence-based bullshit, because I've seen it in mental health do absolutely. It's almost like they base the evidence around so you can't help people. So what good is it? It's all being run by what the Bible talks about, that it's the powers and principalities behind it. And these people all allow themselves to operate from a place that they think is righteous, and yet none of them being righteous. So when you say on one hand that AA works, but then you say AA hasn't taken your recommendations, and hopefully they haven't, although I don't know if they're woke. I don't know if they've become woke. I think they were infiltrated by woke, though. Although it shows effectiveness, they feel that, this is the experts, of course, they feel that they need to evolve past the spiritual and higher power part. Tools of the devil. That's what it is. The calls for Alcoholics Anonymous to evolve generally focus on making the program more inclusive, scientifically rigorous, and acceptable to contemporary needs in diverse populations. So ruining it. So that's literally what I've seen evidence-based bullshit do to mental health. It's then for reason for all your associations, because none of them even know themselves, want to then pass down, no, this is what the new evidence says, and it's all coming from people that don't have anybody's best interest at heart. So when they see that something, because really what is really at the heart of this, with the atheist, with the science and the peer review, and the Christian denominations, what is it? Well, it's that you didn't do it, right? I mean, let's face it, the healing that Jesus is doing in the room should have been happening in the Christian churches. I mean, it's really a red flag. but instead of the Christian denominations taking responsibility for that, recognizing that we should have never said that the Bible was closed to revelation when there is revelation going on in there. No, they just critique AA with all of their nonsense. They too had said the most recent, some being, that in 2023 or 2025, that they believe the most recent theological recommendations concerning Alcoholics Anonymous from a Christian perspective in 2025 focuses on integrating a distinctly Christian understanding of recovery with the AA model, or encouraging churches to develop a Christ-centered recovery program. So see, I don't think that will work, because see, God never talked about again, did Jesus only heal certain people? No. So this continued inability to recognize that you're all in your ego is the reason people like me and most people in Alcoholics Anonymous just won't call you out on it, but I will, because I've had to work in it. Not in AA, in mental health, and have seen what a disaster you've all created, all of you experts and others that don't know yourself. So the reason we come in and God strips us of the ego and we say that we're alcoholics and we admit defeat and powerlessness is because that's how we get saved. I'm not sure why the Christian denominations can't figure it out, that there's only one God that can save us. So when he's in there saving those people, and then you keep wanting to change it to reflect something that you think is then going to save those people, what God is it that can do the same things that the Christian God? There's only one God, okay? So the people in there have the Holy Spirit in them, and you guys don't. So, but this is what these people do, because I think honestly, it's an inability to ever take any of their own inventory. And in the case of atheists and the science, most especially, they just want to destroy something that is helping people. Because an atheist is the perfect to use that the wicked can influence, okay? I mean, the wicked influences ego and identity, ego, which then creates all these identities. So of course they'll turn AA woke. I mean, I guess it said in here that they have people that are trying to actively change it. That's what they want. You put the science in there and you put all these professionals in there, you'll destroy it, which is what ultimately they don't know it, because they're too stupid to know it, okay, because they don't know themselves. That's what they will do. If the science gets its way, if the atheist gets its way, and if the church gets its way, it will destroy it. And then God will destroy them, of course. Because what none of them want to admit is that that's ongoing revelation happening because God is saving people. And how is he doing it? By us having to see that we are defeated, that we surrender to you, God, the same way Jesus surrendered. There's only one God that can do it. And then for the science to act like we need to evolve past this higher power and spiritual. No, you're just trying to destroy it. So just be honest about it, peer review. Just be honest about it, science. Just be honest about it, all of you professionals. You are just pissed off because you can't fix anybody. You can't help anybody. I've yet to see it in mental health as a nurse working in many places in mental health. No, I see it only get worse, all because of you higher educated fools that base everything on evidence, yet you're the most narrow-minded, ignorant people I've ever seen. Because, well, one, I think you know you're up to no good, but because you can't wrap your head around, you're never going to understand this, that the condition of the alcoholic is a spiritual malady. I'm sorry that pisses the atheist off and they're too weak, if they're an alcoholic, to really want to know God. But that's their damn problem, okay? Let them go create their own program, whatever. But as for you science and you peer-reviewed, why would you want to change something that works? You'd only want to change it because you want to destroy it, which is what I've seen you do for 14 years in mental health. So, All the people that are the problem, that think that they're the experts and want to tell AA how it should change, are all the people that God will one day deal with.